What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all the latest content as and when it drops. So, without further ado, let's get into this one. Um, as of I want to say about 3-4 days ago, I heard this news of His Excellency Turki Alalshikh um, bringing us what I want to call some potential good news. Um, and that is that he might finally be able to be the icebreaker that, you know, gets us to finally see Gervonta Tank Davis take on one of his top level contemporaries in Devin the Dream Haney. Now, over the years, there's been call outs, there's been back and forth between these two guys. Um, for me, I felt that over this time, Devin Haney seems to be the one that's sort of seeking to have a good legacy in boxing, chasing after the belts, chasing after the champions. And it's not only Haney, I think, you know, you could label Teofimo Lopez and some of these other guys with the same the same sort of thing that they're all sort of chasing, trying to get to number one. Even to a lesser degree, a guy who I think is not as good as a Haney, but George Kambosos. I mean, whatever you think of him, he's another guy that's been at lightweight and chasing his goals, trying to be the best, trying to fight the best. And Tank Davis has always been the fighter that's kind of um, as a sort of very young fighter, I saw him, and yeah, fantastic fighter. Very good counter puncher, very patient guy, skilled guy, and he's a powerful puncher as well. But he's one of those guys that in the last couple of years has been quite frustrating watching him as a fan because he's a guy that I do like and I do think is one of the top guys at lightweight. He's definitely one of the top guys between that 135, 140, around those weight divisions. He's definitely one of the top guys. But he's also a guy that seems content to not really fight his contemporaries. He just doesn't seem bothered about fighting guys like Haney and these other guys over the times when they've had belts and, he could have made undisputed fights and he just seems to be a guy that's not bothered. But thankfully, with the offer from His Excellency now, he recently came out and said, "Oh, look, I've reached out to Al Heyman. I've messaged Al Heyman because I want Gervonta Davis in my country to fight Devin the Dream Haney." And we know that, typically when it comes to His Excellency and all the Saudi money and all that, he generally gets what he wants. He generally gets what he wants. Um, we know that he's done it successfully with the heavyweights. He's brought Anthony Joshua out there, Deontay Wilder out there, Tyson Fury out there versus Usyk, undisputed at heavyweight. So we know that this guy, he's about his money. Um, he's gonna, there should be really no issue with making this fight because at the end of the day, they they take this whole thing of A side and B side out of the equation in terms of how the Saudis tend to work. The way they work is, as many of you will know, that what they do is they'll take each boxer aside, they'll do a deal with one boxer, they'll do a deal with the other boxer, and that's what they do. And that's how it works. And so you don't worry about pay-per-view splits because the Saudis are footing the bill. You don't worry about, who's getting paid what because the Saudis will work with will give you the number that you're comfortable with or that you negotiate together. And I think one thing we can guarantee, which is a positive, is that these guys are going to get paid more money than they've ever been paid in their entire career. They're going to get paid serious money. So it's for me it's good news. It's a positive sign um, because the PBC, they've had some talented fighters over there, but they're very kind of insular. You know, we saw that even with Crawford and Spence, that it took years to make that fight. You know, and because the PBC is quite insular, they like to stick to themselves. I mean, we even had Floyd Mayweather years ago saying, "Oh, Tank's not going to fight Lomachenko. We're not going to rush him, and blah blah blah, and we're going to keep it all in house." And they like to sort of do that, you know, always be in house. But hopefully, with this offer, that to be quite frank, you're not going to get a better offer than this. This is going to be the best offer that Tank and or Haney has ever seen, really. So I'm hoping that that will finally get us through the door and finally get us this fight, because as a fan, I think, you know, fans, we deserve to see this stuff. This is what we want to see, the best versus the best. And I think this will end a lot of arguments. And I think this will finally sort of put an end to this rivalry. So for me, I can't guarantee that, you know, Tank is going to take this, or, you know, Al Heyman's going to be embracing this offer. But I hope he does. I hope he does, because I think if you care about your fighters, if you want if the objective is for your prize fighters to get the most money for their talents, then you got to take this offer. I mean, there have been I've seen some different tweets, and you know, some of our brothers over there in the United States saying that no, this is a Black American thing, and the Saudis can't have this, and blah blah blah. But for me, I'm saying this, that look, yeah, say it's a Black American thing all you want, but the fact of the matter is, in America, the fights are not getting made between you guys. So there's no Tank and David, you know, Tank and Haney. Yeah, it's just talk. In America, it's been back and forth talking, right? But the fights have not been made. So whatever you want to say or criticize about the Saudis, one thing you can say is that they are making the fights happen. And whatever money that they promise you, you're going to get that money. So for me, you know, I'm saying, okay, yeah, for the Americans, the time will be a bit mad, because for them, they're going to have to, if that does happen for them, it's going to be like, I think, afternoon time that they would have to watch the fight. So because Saudis, well, they're ahead of us here in the UK, and even it's like for us at our prime time is like 2 a.m. in the morning for the Saudis. So for the Americans, they're going to be having to watch the fight in the afternoon. So perhaps the Americans won't like that. But I'm saying now you will get to know how we feel in the UK when we watch fights in Las Vegas and other places, and we got to be up till like 4 or 5 in the morning watching those fights. So now you will get to sort of get a taste of what we have to deal with when we're watching fights in America. So yeah, and again, I think it's one of those fights that it due to the time, it probably won't sell as well as it could in terms of the American market. But I think in terms of the, let's say, the European market, where it's lots of boxing fans over here, and other territories, I think it will sell very well. I think it will do good numbers in the UK and all across Europe, but and Middle East and other areas. But in America, I think because of the time, it might suffer. I think the pay-per-view or whatever might suffer because of that. But anyway, I think for the fighters, their main concern shouldn't even be that, because you're going to get your deal, you're going to get your offer, you're going to get a certain amount of money for fighting regardless. So the pay-per-view to you is almost irrelevant, because you're going to get exactly what you want. So it's not even really something to bother about. So for me, that's my thoughts about it. I'm positive about it. I can't be 100% that we're going to get it, because I know the PBC is quite insular in what they do. But at the same time, for the right offer, anyone can change. So let me know your thoughts about this, that we may get Devin the Dream Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis in Saudi Arabia. you know, it's all on Al Heyman and Tank to see what they want to do. With Haney, we know he's got the track record. He's been to Australia. He's been over here to the UK. So he's kind of got the track record of traveling and going around the world and whatnot. So we'll just have to see what Tank and Al Heyman do. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Do you think we can see this fight in 2024, as His Excellency says, or do you think it's not going to happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out. Catch you on the next vid.